of Tottenham, much to an applause from the full Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Kulusevski was chasing him down on that right hand side. He'd passed the ball back, and then as he tried to make the run past Tomiyasu for the receiving ball, he was brought down by Arsenal's fullback off the field as well. Free kick taken, goes back to Vicario, now onto the left hand side for Porro. Looks for Werner, intercepted again by White and cleared by Partey. Pass central to Odegaard's intercepted, and it's back with Tottenham again as Van de Ven passes the ball into midfield. Goes to Maddison. Now back to Davis. Cross to Romero. Now back to Van de Ven. Inside his own half, Van de Ven searches for Werner again, but Saka's alert to it, puts it out of play for a throw-in just in front of the dugouts on the left-hand side. Seems to be a lot of play going down that left-hand side early on for Tottenham in search of Timo Werner, trying to get him into the game pretty quickly. It'll be pleasing for them, having had 2 weeks off of Premier League action, to have seen Richarlison make his way back into the lineup. As again, a pass towards Werner, it's too heavy and it's out of play for a throw into Arsenal. Ben White goes across to take it, takes it towards the halfway line. Thrown back to Saliba, who goes back to his goalkeeper just outside the area. Ball upfield, headed on by Havertz. It's going to be chased through the middle though. It is with Odegaard inside the Tottenham area at the moment, waiting for support. He has got one moving at the back post. Trossard's late to get there, and his pass inside is intercepted again by Van de Ven, and Tottenham will come away with the ball down their left hand side. Now with Davis. Inside to Kulusevski. Makes his way into Arsenal's half, then goes down under the challenge and wins a free kick just inside Arsenal's half. Taken quickly by Kulusevski to Maddison. As he makes his way back over onto the right hand side, Maddison spreads the ball out onto the right hand side and gives it to Pedro Porro. And goes back to Romero again. Romero scored the own goal in the reverse fixture. Bukayo Saka with the penalty otherwise, as Maddison gets the ball back in the middle of the park again. Goes across this time to Højbjerg. Out onto the right hand side. Maddison gets the ball. Looks for Porro making his way inside Arsenal's area, but it's been intercepted again, and it's back with Trossard. Goes back to Saliba, now to Partey. Onto the right hand side for Ben White. It's a bit too heavy, but he's going to get there just before it goes out of play. He's joined quickly though by Timo Werner as he passes the ball down to Saka, who's dispossessed, and Ben Davis then goes back central to Van de Ven, and Tottenham just steadying things back down inside their own half. Now with Højbjerg, space to move into, chooses to go sideways again, back into his own half to Romero. Cross to Van de Ven, who's closed down by Odegaard, forced to turn on the ball and go all the way back to his goalkeeper. And Vicario just outside the area. And gets the ball back to Van de Ven, and gets the ball back from him. Now Romero, still inside Tottenham's half at the moment. And Vicario onto the left hand side again to Van de Ven. Arsenal just standing off at the moment. Odegaard seems to have moved into more of an attacking role. It's allowing Trossard to play in midfield. Havertz splitting out onto the left hand side. Now Romero's ball forward, goes all the way through to Saliba, passes it out to Saka by the touchline on the right hand side. He's got Werner and Davis alongside him, goes back to Ben White, goes back into his own half, giving the ball back to Saliba again. Across now to Gabriel at the halfway line, back to Saliba again, now to Ben White. Bypasses Saliba this time, nearly gives the ball to Heung-min Son, but instead it's David Raya to the rescue, who plays it out to Gabriel, and Arsenal now dispossessed deep inside their own half. Ball onto the right hand side for Højbjerg. Now it's with Son. Son's through ball to Maddison, inside the area at the moment, back to Son again. Flag has stayed down for now. And I think it's going to stay down completely as Højbjerg gives the ball back to Romero. Inside Arsenal's half still, Højbjerg now brought down to the floor, Tottenham given advantage, and as the through ball goes to nothing, it's going to be Arsenal that continue with the ball. Very dangerous position, that free kick could have been given him, but correct decision from Michael Oliver to allow Tottenham to continue with possession. Roll back out now to Declan Rice outside the area. Now to Saliba, back to Rice again. Making his way about 5 yards further forward. He's just casually walking to the halfway line with the ball before his pass out onto the right hand side for Saka, deep inside Tottenham's half at the moment on the right hand side. Saka brings it inside, quick passes between him and Ben White, can't quite find the run of White down the right hand side. It's out of play almost beside their own corner flag on the left-hand side for Tottenham. Ben Davies is back to take this throw-in. Arsenal trying to create some sort of counter-attack against Spurs at that point as Davies prepares for this throw. He's got Maddison coming close down the left-hand side, Werner further on, Son's come across as well. He's going to try and use the line as he goes towards Son, but he's intercepted by Saliba again. And Arsenal get possession back quite quickly. It's all the way back to David Raya, who's quite far out of his area at this point, but no Tottenham players closing him down. His ball back onto the right-hand side for Saka's too heavy. About 10 yards further forward than the corner flag. Tottenham are going to have a throw-in on the left-hand side again. Davies comes across to take it. And Saka down the line, just trying to mark out the passing route to James Maddison as Werner comes short and gets the ball from Davies and gives the ball straight back to him. Now to Van de Ven, who clears his lines. Brought down by Kulusevski, forced to go back into his own half. Now to Maddison, and space for Tottenham to have a break, but down the left-hand side it's cut out by Ben White before it can get all the way through to Werner, and Maddison this time has had to go back to his defenders. It's now Romero. So Højbjerg inside Arsenal's half. Quick football and link-up play for Tottenham, creating some sort of advantage down the left-hand side now where Werner's in plenty of space. Saka moves across to him as Werner takes it into the area. Onto his left foot, cross goes central, but it's held well by Raya. We'll just calm things down as Arsenal trying to create something inside the opposition half, and they're really struggling at the moment. Tottenham holding on defensively very well as Ben White gets the ball on the right-hand side. His clearance has been blocked. Maddison might get there before Saliba. Saliba quickly clears his lines. Flicked on again this time by Van de Ven. And now it's with Maddison. And now Højbjerg onto the right-hand side. Again for Tottenham. Camped inside Arsenal's half at the moment, trying to create a good chance and an opportunity to take the lead. Now Werner again on the left-hand side finds himself in plenty of space. Brings it just to the edge of the area. Goes back to Van de Ven. Then across to Romero. His pass out onto the right-hand side finds Kulusevski. Nearly trips on the ball, but instead manages to find Pedro Porro again. Now to Romero. Every Tottenham player is not even further back than the centre circle inside Arsenal's half. So much space being created for this Tottenham side, and Arsenal just struggling to clear their lines as Tomiyasu intercepts and goes back to Gabriel. His clearance is being headed away again by Romero, and it's going to go all the way through to Raya this time, who'll slow things down as Arsenal are trying to pass out from the back, but they're not really managing to get any sort of distance on these passes. They're forcing the long ball out to Saka. He's been closed down pretty well by Ben Davies. It's good press from Postecoglou's side to start things off. If you are late joining us, 9 minutes at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium have gone, and it's Tottenham 0, Arsenal 0. As Saka finds space on the right-hand side now. Ben Davies closing down pretty quickly. He's also joined by Højbjerg. Pass inside to Odegaard. Gets the ball caught up in his feet, but finds Trossard on the left-hand side. Overlapped by Rice. Ball goes into the box. Headed away by Davies as far as the edge of the area. It's fallen to Partey, who's been pulled back by Maddison. And about 20 yards out now, Arsenal are going to have a free kick in a very dangerous position. I think that was one of those that, as a midfielder, he's kind of bought that from James Maddison. But looking at the replay, there was quite a tug on the arm from the English midfielder. Had his England call up a couple of months ago, and hoping to be in amongst Southgate's squad heading into the Euros this time next month. And it's announced with Odegaard, Rice and Trossard stood over the free kick at the moment. Gabriel's making his way forward. Tomiyasu is also in the box at the moment. Tottenham with everybody back. I think they're having 5 players in the wall at the moment. And that's going to be disrupted by Thomas Partey and Kai Havertz, who are stood in the wall as well. Vicario has set his wall up where he wants it. Still multiple Arsenal players stood over the free kick. Not quite sure it's going to be Rice or Trossard or even Odegaard that's going to feel comfortable and ready to have a shot at this point. From this distance, you'd fancy either of those to hit target, really. Rice steps away. Odegaard lines up, but Trossard's over there as well. Saka, Tomiyasu, Partey, Havertz all in the box at the moment. Sets up nicely for Odegaard. His effort's been blocked by the wall. Immediately points to his head, does Michael Oliver, to say that that was not handball. Goes back this time to Saliba, who is under pressure from Son. Finds Rice on the left-hand side, gives it to Trossard. And Arsenal forced to go back into their own half again as Tottenham moving out in numbers very quickly from that defensive set piece. As Tomiyasu's been caught in possession inside his own half. It's now with Son. Son onto the right hand side for Porro. He's still got Kulusevski as an option, but there's no Tottenham players in the box at the moment awaiting the cross. They're forced to go back to Romero at the halfway line. But Tottenham still hold on to possession. Maddison. Pass inside to Bentancur. Looks at the through ball, but it's back into Arsenal's half now as Trossard's gone down and Son gets possession. Lines us up onto the edge of the area. Back across now again to Højbjerg. Højbjerg now to Romero. Pass inside to Maddison in a very dangerous position. Lines up the pass to Kulusevski. Now to Son. Inside the area. Son lines up another effort for Maddison, who sends it into the crowd. Lovely work again from Tottenham in the build-up. Getting the ball into Arsenal's half and then building it up into the Arsenal area. They won possession back once or twice in that build-up actually in Arsenal, but didn't seem to clear the lines again because of Tottenham's high press. It's going to be a goal kick to Arsenal, as Raya will once again look for the short options that are available to him. Gives the ball to Gabriel and gets the ball back quickly inside the 6-yard box, and then his ball upfield goes towards Havertz, but has been won again by Højbjerg, and then Werner's gone into the challenge with Ben White and concedes a throw in just in front of Postecoglou on the right hand side. White with the throw in. He's got Saka down the line. Havertz making his way across inside the area. Odegaard is also in that area, giving it to Saliba instead. Across to Gabriel inside his own half. Pass inside to Rice, makes his way up towards the halfway line. Rice now across to Tomiyasu. Back inside to Partey. Partey's chip ball forward, finds Odegaard in space. He's brought the ball down inside the area, and then Michael Oliver is putting the flag up as Arsenal have a goal disallowed as Havertz put it into the net past Vicario anyway, but the flag is up. The free kick is going to be given. Just looking at the replay, very close, very, very close. I think Van de Ven might have been keeping him onside, but Odegaard made his run through, and Havertz made his run in between the defenders to get the ball from the Arsenal captain, but the flag went up and a free kick is the decision. There's going to be a Tottenham free kick as the referee blew his whistle for the free kick. There's not going to be a VAR intervention. Tottenham stopped playing and Romero stood over the free kick now, about 15 yards outside of his area. Goes back to his goalkeeper inside the D, just outside his area, gets the ball back again, and Arsenal now with a high press of their own. Pass inside to Davis, goes back to Vicario again. Out to Romero on the right hand side. Havertz this time closing him down. Romero back to his goalkeeper inside the 6-yard box. Vicario now to the left hand side. Van de Ven clears his lines, but it's been dispossessed. It's won by Saka. Pass inside to Rice. Effort's been blocked and it's out of play now for an Arsenal corner as Tottenham try to build out from the back, and Arsenal's high press this time causes the hosts issues, as it looked like Ben Davies might have actually lost his footing when the pass was made. Thomas Partey was quick and alert to it. It's going to be an in-swinging corner now coming from Arsenal. Bukayo Saka that's across to take it as Saliba, Gabriel making their way into the area. Tomiyasu and Partey are in there as well. Kai Havertz, Ben White inside the area. Ben White just trying to undo the goalkeeper's gloves to put him off a bit as Saka goes in towards the near post and it's headed in. And I think the free kick the free kick's not been given. It's been given as a goal. Tottenham furious with what's just gone off there, but it's a goal to Arsenal. Ball in towards the near post and it's been headed in. I'm not quite sure who it's going to be gifted to, but Saka's ball into the box gifts the visitors the lead. Tottenham have been very good at holding this ground defensively, but passing out from the back gifted Arsenal the corner, and the first corner of the game has given the visitors the lead. I'm not sure if that's come off Højbjerg or if it's come off Saliba first. Cross goes into the near post. Just looking at the replay, I think it is Højbjerg that's got the touch on that. I think it's going to go down as a Højbjerg own goal. It is Højbjerg that's... The cross has gone in towards Tomiyasu. I think Havertz was just behind him, and it's Højbjerg that's headed it past his own goalkeeper. And Arsenal have the lead 15 minutes into the game at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and the visitors have the lead. Tottenham will get things back underway for us. Romero plays it out onto the right hand side now for Porro. Back to Romero again. Cross now to Van de Ven. Takes it up to the halfway line. Van de Ven's chip ball forwards, going to be chased down inside the area by Davis. Played across the face of goal, but saved and well held by David Raya inside the 6-yard box. Out onto the left hand side. Thrown by Raya. Dispossessed again. Kulusevski now gets the ball back. Deep inside Arsenal's half. Goes down under the challenge. Wins inside a free kick. And Trossard now just holding on to his ankle. He's gone down slightly. As Kulusevski won the ball back from Trossard. And Trossard did get to the ball first. I think on replay it's probably... the referee's going to change his decision with the assistance of the linesman. It's going to be a goal kick. No free kick is going to be given as Trossard did shout towards Kulusevski. Now the goal kick's been taken. Headed away by Van de Ven. Kulusevski, who's gone down under the challenge this time of Tomiyasu, and this time does win a free kick. Just outside the centre circle. Pass made by Højbjerg. Cross to Romero. Now to Porro. Back to Romero again. Now finds Kulusevski on the right hand side. This new ball's going to be chased down again, this time by Rice. Cross still gets into the box. Headed away by Ben White, and now Tottenham are going to have the first corner of the afternoon. Now on the left hand side, Tottenham will have an in-swinging corner of their own. As Romero and Van de Ven make their way into the area. Lurking on the edge at the moment is Kulusevski. Madison's cross goes in towards the middle, headed towards the back post, and Romero heads it just wide. Son making the late run, couldn't get there in time. And it's going to be another goal kick to Arsenal. Tottenham will feel very hard done to the fact that they're trailing by a goal to nil at the moment. They have had the better of the two sides. Just not managed to take those chances. It's going to be Raya that gets things going for us again. Postecoglou just looking on at the moment about how his side have really approached this game. They've stopped Arsenal from playing out from the back, which is something that has been a threat from the Gunners this season. As Raya's goal kick is taken, he then slips, but it's gone all the way through to Werner. He wins it back on the second attempt and then cleared by White, but only in the direction of Bentancur. This time he takes it towards the halfway line. Bentancur advancing into Arsenal's half. Lays the ball off this time for Kulusevski. Switched onto the left hand side for Werner, who brings the ball down with his chest. Calls for a handball from Ben White. Waved away as he gives the ball to Maddison, who's then gone down under the challenge of Ben White and wins, I believe, a free kick on the edge of the area, as Ben White's just going to receive a talking to from Michael Oliver. Saka pointed him in the direction away from the incident. It's on the edge of the area, and it's just a bit of a nudge in the back of Maddison that puts him off balance, and he goes down to the ground. It's just outside the area on the left hand side for Tottenham. As again, Romero and Van de Ven make their way into the area. Already got 4 goals to his name this season so far as Romero, hoping to add to that at this point. Maddison stood over the ball for the free kicks. Options on the edge of the area. Sends us in towards the back post. It's been headed against the post. It's fallen back to Son again. Cross goes in towards the back post this time. Headed away by Havertz as far as the edge of the area. Back to Maddison on the left hand side. Maddison up against Saka at the moment. Saka wins the challenge, and the clearance from Havertz has been blocked, and it's going to be a throw in from right beside the corner flag to Arsenal. Cross into the back post, and it's from around about 3 yards out. Romero heads it against the outside of the post. He's quick to get to the rebound. Does it with Thomas Partey. Felt maybe like he'd been pushed by Partey as he made the leap for the ball. Still managed to win the header. Pass played out short from the goal kick to Gabriel. On to the left hand side now for Tomiyasu. Tackle in from Kulusevski. Throwing to Arsenal around the halfway line. 3 changes have been made into this game from Postecoglou, from the side that lost 4-0 against Newcastle 2 weeks ago. Kulusevski is one of those that is into the lineup. There's Raya with another clearance on the edge of the area as he loses his footing. There's been multiple players doing so in the build-up to this, but there's another chance now for Tottenham, but that effort's been blocked. It's going to go out of play. Arsenal want a goal kick, but a corner's going to be the decision as Kulusevski brings it inside onto his left foot. It's blocked by Saliba. Just on the edge of the area. Second corner for Tottenham. On that left-hand side, Maddison across to take it as an in-swinging corner again. Options in the middle, Van de Ven and Davis. Davis currently battling with Trossard as Maddison's cross goes in towards the middle. It's another dangerous corner. Cleared by Saka. Still on the edge of the area now, though. The effort's gone goalwards. It's taken a block and it's fallen through. And Tottenham have equalised. The flag stayed down. And it's Mickey Van de Ven that scored for the hosts. From the corner, it has been cleared as far as the edge of the area from James Maddison's corner. Saka then clears it, but he only gets a good couple of yards on it. Then the effort sent goalwards, takes a deflection and falls through to Van de Ven, who's only got David Raya to beat. He escaped his man from around about 7 yards out. David Raya dived to his left as Van de Ven put it to his right. And it's now Tottenham 1, Arsenal 1. 22 minutes gone at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I'm not sure if VAR are going to have a word in the ear of Michael Oliver at this point. I'm just going to look at the replay to see if there's any deflection off of Tottenham players. And as that effort is sent goalwards, Van de Ven is in an onside position. There are multiple Tottenham players in offside positions. And when the effort does go goalwards, I'm just looking if it's come off an Arsenal player or one of the Tottenham players that gets the block in. But Van de Ven himself is in an onside position when the shot is hit. So VAR can have a lengthy look at this to determine whether the goal stands or not. It's a striker's finish from Van de Ven regardless. On the edge of the area, there are Arsenal players inside the area, so he's certainly onside. But there is a player offside in the build-up to this. If it's come off him, or at least he's interfered with play as the effort's gone goalwards, I think it's come off Saliba on its way through. But if he's interfering with play, then it's going to be questions as to whether this should be disallowed or not. Lines are being drawn up at the moment from VAR. Van de Ven will be sitting and hoping, almost as much as Højbjerg, who of course scored the own goal to give Arsenal the lead about 7 minutes ago. Lines are being drawn up, and I think the verdict is that it is going to be offside. Van de Ven himself is not offside. However, there is a player in an offside position at the time of the shot being taken that has interfered with play. That goal is going to be chalked out. It's going to be Tottenham 0, Arsenal 1, and the hosts have it all to do again. And David Raya from just inside his area will take the free kick. It's a lifeline for Arsenal. They lost Van de Ven and he was the one that was onside. They might have lit a fire within this Spurs side with the home crowd behind them as Van de Ven goes all the way back to Vicario from the free kick. He gets the ball back quickly on the left hand side. Looks again towards Son with his clearance, headed away towards Havertz. Between the headers, Bentancur. On the left hand side he's battling now with Saka and wins his side of throw-in. Ben Davies is going to take. A bit more eagerness now from this Tottenham side that feel hard done to just from the conceding of a goal, let alone having one disallowed. Vicario now crossed to Romero inside the area. Romero's pass to Maddison. Maddison then onto the right hand side for Kulusevski. Finds himself in space, takes it up towards the halfway line, missed tackle on Kulusevski, puts the ball onto the left hand side now for Werner. At the halfway line, Werner goes more central with it and passes it across to Højbjerg. Højbjerg again venturing into Arsenal's half now, onto the right hand side for Kulusevski, who just keeps it in play. Trossard's then moving across as his pass goes central to Romero again. Then across to Van de Ven. Van de Ven onto the left hand side then for Davis. Now for Werner. And then Maddison. Madison's ball onto the right hand side for Kulusevski. His first touch takes it into the area. It's laid back up to Kulusevski, who's lost his footing. Still gets the ball to Madison in the outside the area, who's gone down. Wants a penalty, nothing's given, and Arsenal come away with the ball. Saka onto the left hand side finds Havertz. Trossard making an overlapping run. Havertz holds play up. He's got Saka making a run. Ball out onto the right hand side for Saka in space. He can take it into the area onto his right foot. Saka brings it across onto his left, sends it goalwards and puts it in. It's 2-0 to Arsenal on a counter attack. When Tottenham felt they should have had a penalty at the other side that VAR may well check, James Maddison went down and Arsenal quickly went to the other side of the field. Saka played it onto the left-hand side for Havertz, continued his run down the right-hand side. Tottenham were distracted by the overlapping run of Trossard, and Havertz played the ball across to Saka, who took it into the area and played it back into the corner across of Vicario. He couldn't quite get to it, and it's now Tottenham 0, Arsenal 2, as Tottenham players are surrounding Michael Oliver, feeling that should have been a penalty at the other side of the field. It's not been given. 27 minutes gone at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and it is Tottenham 0, Arsenal 2, and that is Saka's 19th goal of the season. Michael Oliver's not dished out a yellow card just yet, but things might change if Tottenham continue these protests. He's looking at the replay. Saka was onside, or it looked to be onside when the ball was played across. He brought it in onto his left foot, placed it between Van der Ven and Davis, and past Vicario. And a player in that sort of goal-scoring form is going to take those kind of chances. And after yet another Arsenal goal, there's another Arsenal huddle, just to keep things tight at the back and focus on scoring at the other end. Postecoglou and his side don't deserve to be 2-0 down at this point. And the decision is going to be a goal, no penalty given. Ball onto the right hand side now for Kulusevski. His cross goes in, it's been headed away. Werner's first to it. Werner takes it into the area, tries his ball across the face of goal, but Ben White's equal to it, and it's out of play now for a corner for Tottenham on the left hand side. Maddison again going across to take it. This could be a huge win, as there's been plenty of talking about Arsenal's win 20 years ago at what was then White Hart Lane. A win that won them the Premier League title back then. Cross goes in from the corner, headed away. Odegaard's gone down, holding on to his head as the ball's gone to the edge of the area. The referee's pulled a stop to things as Odegaard's holding on to the side of his face. Michael Oliver goes across to just check on the Arsenal captain and calls the physio on. Have a brief break in play now whilst Odegaard is seen to inside the area. It fell to Højbjerg on the edge of the area, who decided not to go with a shot, but it was Odegaard that caught his face on the side of Bentancur. His head was moved in that direction by Romero, and he caught the side of Bentancur. 29 minutes gone here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It is Tottenham 0, Arsenal 2 as it stands at the moment. I'm just looking at the replay of whether James Maddison should have had a penalty at the other end. He takes it into the area, and that's a great win from Declan Rice, and Maddison's gone down under the ball, so he's tripped over the ball after the challenge from Rice pushed the ball out of the feet of James Maddison, and he felt that was a trip from the Arsenal midfielder. So the right decision made on field by Michael Oliver, who's had a good game, or at least a good start to the game, 30 minutes in. And whilst we've got Odegaard being seen to, Tottenham also have Timo Werner being checked upon at the moment, as he's down just receiving support on his hamstring area. There's communication sent from the Tottenham physio towards the sideline as to if there is going to be a change that is required, and it looks like Brennan Johnson is getting himself kitted up and preparing for the likelihood that he could be coming on for Timo Werner. Might move Kulusevski onto the left hand side at that point, and Brennan Johnson out onto the right, where he's played for the majority of the time for Tottenham since joining from Nottingham Forest. Been headed in by Kulusevski. Just been shown another replay as Kulusevski loses his footing going into the area. There's been a couple of players that have lost their footing at this point as well. I think Kulusevski was maybe wanting a penalty on from the challenge on Trossard as well. So there's 2 penalties that Tottenham wanted, and neither were given on this occasion. And Tottenham will continue with the ball on the edge of the area, and the change has been made for Tottenham, and it is Brennan Johnson on for Timo Werner. And Johnson's gone onto the left hand side to get things started, as Bentancur looks onto the right hand side and finds Porro. Now back to Romero, and Bentancur again, and Porro now to Maddison. Maddison lines up on the edge of the area, finds Porro down the right hand side, closed down by Tomiyasu. He's got support on the edge of the area, gives it to Romero, and back to Maddison. Maddison's through ball, and gets the ball back by the touchline, into the area this time for Kulusevski. Gives it across to Bentancur, now to Van der Ven, who's forced to go back to Romero. Romero's pass this time finds Kulusevski, now for Porro on the right hand side. Tottenham just outside Arsenal's area at the moment. Cross goes in, cleared by Gabriel, still alert to the crosses. Run back by Kulusevski on the right hand side again, alongside Tomiyasu at the moment. Goes back to Romero. Tottenham still deep inside Arsenal's half. Goes across to Van der Ven, then to Johnson, then back to Van der Ven at the halfway line. Then to Romero. Tottenham just holding on to possession at the moment. They've done it so far throughout this game. It's not managed to create anything off the back of it, as the pass to Van der Ven's too heavy. He gives it to Johnson, who goes inside to Son. Nearly loses his footing. Nothing's been given, as then Saka gets it down the right hand side. He's gone down under the challenge there of Bentancur and wins a free kick just inside his own half. In fact, the throw-in's been given. No free kick to Arsenal. A bit harsh there as well. I think that might have been a trip on Saka, who was running away from Bentancur on the right hand side. Now it goes to Romero. Cross again to Van der Ven. Now for Davis. Touch is too heavy. Saka's in there. It's another throw-in for Tottenham on the left hand side. Saka just cutting out those channels now. It's Brennan Johnson that's in that area waiting for the ball. Going to be taken by then Davis. Goes back into the middle, and Saka in with the challenge again. About 2 yards further forward. Another throw-in now for Tottenham on the left hand side. Looking down the line again for different options. Arsenal with 6 clean sheets in the last 6 Premier League away games. Almost had that upset by a Tottenham equaliser that was chalked off. Saliba heads the ball back this time to David Raya, who just brings the ball down in possession at his feet and waits for the pressure from Son before picking the ball up. It's inside his area at the moment. He's got Saliba on the right hand side, Partey just in front of him. Passes it out now to Rice. Rice onto the left hand side for Tomiyasu. Takes it up to the halfway line with a pass to Trossard. Flag stays down. Trossard up against Porro at the moment. Man for man brings it inside. Now gives it to Tomiyasu on the edge of the area, but Højbjerg wins it back as he starts to get out with the ball. Trossard closes him down. Back again on that right hand side for Tottenham. Højbjerg clears his line, but it's intercepted again by Rice. Højbjerg with the challenge this time, and it's intercepted this time by Gabriel. Any challenge that Tottenham are winning at the moment, it's just gifting possession back to Arsenal, just 5 yards further back. Gabriel gets the ball and gives it to Rice. He takes it into his own area and gives it across to Saliba. Saliba back to Rice again. All forward's going to be chased down this time by Havertz. His first touch is intercepted then by Van der Ven, who puts it out of play for a corner, but a free kick has been given to Tottenham. Havertz feels that came off his chest, but the referee feels it's a handball. And from just outside the area, Tottenham will get things back underway for us. Romero passes it across to Van der Ven. It goes back to Vicario again, just outside the area. And then across to Van der Ven. And then back to the 6-yard box for Vicario, and then across to Romero. Romero searches down the line for Kulusevski, holds this ball up. Through ball then finds Højbjerg in space inside Arsenal's half. He then plays a through ball for Son. Son takes it into the area. There is options at the back post, but he can't quite get to them. Instead gives this ball to Porro on the edge of the area. And back to Romero. Brennan Johnson was making the run at the back post. He had the run on Ben White as well, so he had a bit of space if Tottenham could find him, but Son struggled to do so. Van der Ven this time across to Romero. Now back to Van der Ven inside the centre circle in Arsenal's half at the moment. Now to Johnson on that left hand side. Johnson's through ball. Bentancur's going to chase this down, and it's just going to go out of play before he can get to it. Too heavy of a pass from the Tottenham substitute, and Brennan Johnson can't find Bentancur making his way into the area. And Partey does a good job of just shepherding the ball out of play. It's going to be a goal kick again to Arsenal. .36.5 minutes played. It's Tottenham 0, Arsenal 2 on unofficial coverage of the Premier League here on Flash Score. It's passed this time to Havertz, chipped over to Odegaard. Odegaard's got Saka on the right hand side, Trossard on the left, gives the ball to Trossard, holds play up against Porro at the moment, but Tomiyasu's there in support. Trossard's cross goes in this time, taking a block, and it's out of play for a corner to Arsenal out on the left hand side. Going across to take it is Declan Rice. Saka lurks on the edge of the area with Odegaard. Saliba makes his way in, as does Thomas Partey, and Trossard making his way out of the area. Arsenal committing considerably fewer players into the box against Tottenham. As Declan Rice is going to do an in-swinging corner this time, with abuse from the Tottenham fans being shouted in his direction from just behind him in one of the stands. Rice again, preparing for the in-swinging corner. Arsenal players surrounding the goalkeeper, goes in towards the middle, and it's been headed in by Kai Havertz. And Arsenal have a 3-goal lead now from another set piece. The players surrounding the goalkeeper, making things very difficult for Vicario. And the cross that came in from Declan Rice really put the Tottenham keeper under pressure. And it's just getting from bad to worse for the hosts, who started this game much the better side. And Arsenal just so clinical at the other side of the field. The in-swinging corner from Declan Rice, headed in from Kai Havertz. It's his 13th goal of the season. He scored it from inside the area. It was into the near post. And Tottenham, who had a sea of players in and around there. There were a couple of Arsenal players lurking on the edge of the area. But Tottenham, with considerably more players in the box, really should have handled that better. Kai Havertz, potentially the tallest player in the box, was left with a free header and sent it goalwards. And there was only one place that was ending. As soon as it left his forehead, it was going into the bottom corner. It's Tottenham 0, Arsenal 3, with 38 minutes gone here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And this goal difference may continue to work in favour of Arsenal, who stretch their lead at the top of the Premier League table as Manchester City watch on with a late kick-off on the way against Nottingham Forest. Arsenal's goal difference now up to 59. It's 11 better than that of Manchester City, and you know from a Pep Guardiola side that they are guaranteeing you goals. So to have that goal difference better off would really go a long way in the title race for Arsenal. Pass now to Van der Ven at the halfway line. Tottenham make their way back into Arsenal's half again. They just seem to be lacking in that final third at the moment. No clinical finishing, no clutch players to be able to get the ball into the box and really put the pressure on this Arsenal defence in the first half. They've had the majority of the possession, and it's been inside Arsenal's half at that. They just can't seem to do anything in that final third. Kulusevski, Son, Brennan Johnson, and even Timo Werner when he was on have really struggled. Romero now back inside his own half with possession. Tottenham being forced to go backwards at the moment. It's back inside to Bentancur. Now across to Maddison. Maddison to Porro. Down that right hand side, he's continued his run but lays it off to Bentancur instead. Partey wins it back and plays it central to Havertz. Havertz takes the ball into the middle. It's a wonderfully timed challenge from Højbjerg, but Saka's quickly to it to keep possession with Arsenal. Gives the ball to Rice, now across to Saliba. His pass inside's been dispossessed by Bentancur again. Now Ben Davies onto the edge of the area. It's fallen to Son. He passes it to Maddison, who slips and manages to play the ball onto the right hand side, but intercepted again this time by Trossard, who looks for the run of Havertz, but too heavy of a pass. Gives the ball back to Tottenham inside their own half. Another pass to Davies. Now to Maddison. Quite sure which direction to turn, and this is surrounded by Arsenal players. Goes across to Højbjerg. Chip ball onto the right hand side for Kulusevski. Back to Maddison again. Now Kulusevski. His through ball's intercepted by Tomiyasu, who clears his lines. It's not gone very far, and it's back with Tottenham possession, still inside Arsenal's half as Romero's quickly to it. Possession taken back by Maddison again. It's inside Arsenal's half, looking for that run of Bentancur, but instead goes sideways with the pass to Van de Ven. Out onto the left hand side now for Brennan Johnson, who's up against both Ben White and Bukayo Saka. And then back to Van de Ven again. Across to Romero. Takes it outside the centre circle. Goes down by Havertz, gives the ball to Bentancur, now to Maddison. Back onto the edge of the area again. This time an Arsenal block comes in, but it's still possession back with Tottenham as Van de Ven is forced to go all the way back to his goalkeeper, and Odegaard is yelling for the Arsenal players to make the way out from the back. Just keep this high press on Tottenham, force them to keep moving back instead of keeping possession inside Arsenal half. So now it's with Son. Johnson takes a deflection off the ball, just keeps it in play, and then it comes off Ben White and out of play for a throw-in on this left-hand side for Tottenham. Taken by Davis. Back to Van de Ven. Now to Højbjerg. And Van de Ven again. And then to Højbjerg. Back to Van de Ven. Goes all the way back to his goalkeeper just outside the area. Then to Van de Ven again. Now closed down by Johnson. Blocked by Saka. Intercepted in fact by Saka, who gets to the ball first. Gives it to Ben White, who goes back to Raya. He's closed down by Son. Has to come meet the ball. The long ball upfield's gone towards Havertz, but it's been headed away again by Van de Ven, and Tottenham back in possession. Out onto the right-hand side now for Porro, who can take a turn on the ball. Gives it out right now to Kulusevski. Can Tottenham get something just before half-time as we enter into the final 2 minutes of regular time? Kulusevski goes central again. Now it's given to Højbjerg. Now to Romero. On the edge of the area. Romero and Tottenham trying to work their way into the area, but Arsenal closing them down, stopping any crosses as it gets to Brennan Johnson. Cross goes in towards the near post eventually, but it's been headed away by Saliba at the first chance. Johnson with the throw-in on that left-hand side. Goes it to Højbjerg, gets the ball back by the touchline. Johnson holds it up and goes central to Maddison. Touch is too heavy, gets there just ahead of Odegaard, but it's been dispossessed this time by Saliba. Finds Trossard. And Trossard goes down under multiple challenges, but keeps getting back to his feet quickly and continuing with the ball. Gives it now to Saliba. His clearance has been blocked, and Ben White will just send this route one deep into Tottenham's half. It's going to go all the way through to Vicario inside his own area, but it allows Arsenal to regroup and get themselves out from the back. And Vicario rolls this out now to Van de Ven. Gives it to Bentancur. And to the right hand side now for Porro. Porro's ball forward is going to be chased down by Son. His first touch was great, his second one not so well, and it's gone over, and it's going to be a goal kick for Arsenal. The first touch from Son takes it away from the centre half that was following him, takes it nicely into Arsenal's area, but he got too much underneath the shot the second time, and it's gone all the way into the stands. It was never troubling Raya, and if there's one person in Tottenham's side that you want in that position, it is their captain, it is Heung-min Son. He was closed down by both Saliba and Gabriel, and couldn't keep his shot down. Into the last minute now of regular time, then whatever extra time has been given, and Raya will take the goal kick. And he does so out onto the right hand side, headed on by Declan Rice to Bukayo Saka, whose through ball goes all the way through to Vicario. Pass back out to Romero again, now to Højbjerg. Højbjerg to Davis. Davis's long ball now to be chased down by Son again, met this time by Saliba, and he gives the ball to White, and in goes the challenge of Johnson, but he manages to win his side a throw-in. Taken by Davis. All the way back to Van de Ven, who's across now to Romero inside the centre circle. And back to Van de Ven again on the left-hand side. 6 minutes of added time has been given at the end of this first half. Now with Højbjerg. Højbjerg's pass inside, he gets the ball back by the touchline. Gives it to James Maddison, who is playing quite a creative midfielder role at the moment for Tottenham, trying to get the passing moving and trying to create something from what is practically nothing, but Tottenham are losing out on possession all too cheaply. They're winning it back well, but when they've got the ball, they're trying to force passes now in search of desperation to try and create something, and it's just giving away possession too cheaply. They do need themselves a goal, but Really need to try and find some crosses into the box to really hurt this Arsenal side, as the pass comes in from Kulusevski, intercepted by Saliba. Passes it out now to Tomiyasu, who goes back to Gabriel, who clears his lines onto the left hand side, brought down by Trossard. By the corner post, and it comes off a Tottenham player. It's out of play now for an Arsenal goal kick once again. It's been a very unfortunate first half, shall we say, for Tottenham. A side that started the better of the two sides, and I dare say still have the better stats, but the one stat that will matter is that they are trailing by 3-0. Raya will once again take the goal kick, as his Arsenal players this time make their way up towards the halfway line. No short options. Kai Havertz makes his way by the touchline, as that's where the goal kick goes. He's gone down under the challenge. Nothing's been given as it's headed away by Bentancur. He's back to his feet quickly though and wins the ball back from the header away by Ben Davies. Then to Odegaard. Finds the room from Rice. Now to Saka. Brings it inside onto his favoured left foot. Gives it back to Odegaard again on the edge of the area. Odegaard's got the room from Ben White. Looks for the pass, but it's been blocked. It's fallen to Partey. Gives it to Rice. Now to Gabriel. Gabriel's ball onto the right hand side. Finds Ben White, and the flag now goes up. And it's going to be a free kick to Tottenham, as Ben White was in an offside position when the pass was made. Van de Ven plays the ball back to his goalkeeper from the free kick inside the area. He gets the ball back from him again. Goes back to Vicario inside the 6-yard box. Vicario onto the left hand side for Van de Ven. Inside the area at the moment. Goes back to his goalkeeper. Tottenham very dangerous with the ball at the moment. That's what gifted Arsenal a corner that led to the first goal earlier on, as the clearance now goes towards Ben Davies. His pass inside finds James Maddison. Pass out onto the right hand side for Kulusevski in plenty of space. Arsenal now forced back quickly in numbers as Kulusevski brings this in. Lays the ball off to Højbjerg, who plays it back onto the right hand side for Maddison. Now back to Kulusevski. Cross goes in, headed away by Rice, falls to the edge of the area, sent back into the area, headed away this time by Saliba. As far as the edge of the area with Bentancur. Pass onto the right hand side for Maddison. Takes it into the area, tries to beat multiple players, but Arsenal back again in numbers and win themselves what they think is a free kick, but advantage has been given as Havertz makes his way out and he goes down under a challenge, and now a free kick's been given to Arsenal about 10 yards outside their own area. Romero bundles Havertz to the floor. Around about 2 minutes left to go of this 6 added minutes that we've got at the end of what's been a very inspired first half from Arsenal, defending well as a unit and then just taking the chances when they've fallen to them on the opposite side. Partey with the free kick, finds Rice. Rice headed into the box, been cleared though by Van de Ven, only as far as Rice. And Van de Ven wins it back again. This time gives the ball to Johnson. Johnson takes it into the centre circle and plays it out to Romero. Now for James Maddison down the right hand side. It's going to be chased down by Porro. Porro gets the ball from him. Beats Trossard, puts the cross into the box. It's a dangerous one, but it's headed away by Ben White before it got to Brennan Johnson. It's going to be a fourth corner of the first half for Tottenham as we enter into the final minute of this first half. Tottenham will be desperate to get something heading into the break, just to try and steady the ship and build some momentum to go into the break with. Arsenal leading by 3-0 isn't what they expected, nor is it what most people expected at this point. Outside cross, out swinging cross goes in, headed away. Now to Kulusevski. Cross goes in again, falls to Brennan Johnson. Brennan Johnson's effort he feels was blocked. It's gone out of play. And it's going to be another corner to Tottenham. Cross goes in this time. It's fallen to Johnson, who I think his first effort was blocked by Ben Davies. And Tottenham are going to have a fifth corner. Last chance to do something before half time. Out swinging corner again from James Maddison. Goes in towards the near post, headed away by Havertz as far as Højbjerg on the edge of the area. Højbjerg up against Saka at the moment, takes it out onto the left-hand side. Saka continues his press, but Højbjerg gets the better of him. Cross goes into the box this time, headed away again from Arsenal, only as far as the edge of the area, but the half-time whistle has gone. And Tottenham will have a lot to be addressing at half-time, where they trail by 3 goals to underway, kicking off from right to left after a very clinical performance inside Tottenham's final third. They currently sit atop of the Premier League by 4 points, with Manchester City having 2 games in hand. So it will be Arsenal to get things underway. They go straight back to David Raya, who punts the ball very quickly out onto the right hand side. Kai Havertz comes in and lays this off for Partey. Partey switches it over again onto the right hand side for Ben White. First touches to Saka on the edge of the area. His cross goes in towards the back post. It's been headed away by Pedro Porro to Trossard on the right hand side, just outside the area. Trossard's cross has been blocked. Still gone into the area slightly though, as his pass on the second attempt goes back this time to the substitute that's come on for Tottenham, and that is Pape Sarr. Let you know the changes that have been made at half time in just a moment. Then White gets it back onto the right hand side, and he's gone down under a challenge, and a free kick has been given against Tottenham for the challenge on Odegaard. So the change that was made and forced in the first half was Brennan Johnson, who came on for Timo Werner, who was injured, and now Pape Sarr is on in place of Rodrigo Bentancur. So that's the second change that has been made by Tottenham. This one I'm not sure if it was forced. Didn't see anything from Bentancur that indicated throughout the first half that he was injured. So just to give you the heads up of the lineup for Tottenham as we start the second half, I'll go through in just a moment as Declan Rice has stood over the free kick around about 20 yards out of the area. Cross goes in towards the back post. It's headed by Tomiyasu, and it's just over, and it's going to be a goal kick to Tottenham. So for Tottenham it is Vicario in goal, Pedro Porro, Romero, Van de Ven and Davis, Højbjerg, Sarr, Kulusevski, Maddison, Johnson and Son. For Arsenal it's Raya, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Tomiyasu, Odegaard, Partey, Rice, Saka, Havertz and Trossard. So Gabriel playing alongside Saliba. This time it's been headed clear from the goal kick by Gabriel. Now pass centre to Romero. Romero brings this inside, closed down by Havertz, goes across to Van de Ven. Sarr looks like he's just sitting in as a holding midfielder in front of the back four alongside Højbjerg, as Davis gets the ball and gives it onto the left hand side for Johnson, but the challenge from White would have given a throw in to Tottenham, as Tottenham fans are leaving the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. There's plenty of empty seats after their first half display, but the free kick was given to Arsenal for offside, and Ben White prepares to take this from by the touchline. Goes back to Saliba, now across to Gabriel. Gabriel back to Saliba. Now to Odegaard, who switches this into space onto the left hand side for Declan Rice. He's waiting for the ball to get to him, and he's been forced to go back again, this time to Saliba, just outside the area. Out inside to Partey, gets the ball back as Tottenham crowd that area. Saliba across to Gabriel again. Now to Tomiyasu. Back to Gabriel on the edge of the area. Now to David Raya, takes a touch but is closed down quickly, and his clearance has been forced, but it's gone all the way through to Ben Davis, gives it to Van de Ven, who's closed down by Havertz, and from Saka. Saka wins it back momentarily, and he doesn't quite get there before Davis, and it's going to be Tottenham's free kick just inside their own half, taken quickly by Davis, across now to Van de Ven. Out onto the right hand side for Kulusevski. Now to Sarr. Outside the centre circle at the moment, across to Van de Ven. Tottenham just again controlling possession. It's something that they did throughout the first half, just final third was lacking for them as Kulusevski gets the ball. Threads the ball inside towards Maddison. Cut out this time by Gabriel. Gabriel plays the ball forward to Odegaard, who runs into a wall of Romero. Romero gets possession back onto the edge of the area, gives it to Maddison, lines up a shot. Beats his man, gives it to Kulusevski inside the area. Kulusevski's cross has been blocked. Back to the edge of the area now with Kulusevski. Cross goes in once again. It's been headed this time goalwards by, I think it was Romero that got his head to it, but he headed it over. It's going to be a goal kick now to Arsenal. David Raya came out to claim it, but got behind Romero. The Tottenham centre-half heads it goalwards and it's just gone over. Arsenal will get things back underway through David Raya. Plays it short to Gabriel, gets the ball back. Clearing again from Raya. Saka brings the ball down. Brings it inside and gets brought to the floor by Ben Davies. Wins himself a free kick, but Højbjerg was hoping for a free kick in their favour, as when Saka landed on the floor he caught the ball with his hand. With a free kick from just inside Arsenal's half now. Davies makes his way back. That's made by Saka. Goes now to Saliba. Still inside their own half. Goes down by Maddison. Goes back across now to Ben White, who's brought down to the floor. Nothing's been given for it as Saka wins it back and gives it to Thomas Partey. Partey back again now to Saliba. Just inside Arsenal's half. They're holding on to possession themselves this time, something they didn't manage to do very well in the first half. Tottenham, with their high press, managed to stop Arsenal quite quickly and forced them into long clearances that gifted Tottenham possession back. Now Ben White gets the ball on the right hand side. Gives it to Saka, now to Odegaard. Odegaard's got space to turn on the ball in the middle of the park. His pass has been dispossessed though, and it's this time with Kulusevski onto the edge of the area. Takes it into the area, goes down under the challenge. Nothing's been given, he wants a penalty. As Kulusevski stays on the floor, he's been picked up though by Gabriel. Great dribbling work from Kulusevski. He'd got space to move into and brought it into the area and went in between two Arsenal players. Got the ball away and then went down under the challenge of either Gabriel or Partey. Both stuck a foot in at the same time. I think Partey won the ball and Gabriel won the player, but nothing was given. Arsenal now in the ascendancy themselves on the left hand side. Trossard finds Havertz making the run into the box. Havertz ball to the back post and Saka effort saved off the line by Vicario. He had the entire of the right hand side of the net to go at, but Saka sent it to the only point where Vicario was stood, and it's an Arsenal corner. Very closest to offside there. I think Ben Davies was keeping him onside. It's been cleared off the line by the foot of Vicario. He was quick to adjust his body and get his right foot out. Push that over. Seen them sometimes end up just catching the top of the goalkeeper's boot and going into the goal anyway, but Arsenal get the third corner of the game, their first of the second half, and it's out on the left hand side. Arsenal again with plenty of players making their way into the area. Scored from 2 corners so far. Taking the best of these set pieces. Both corners that they've had have resulted in Arsenal goals. One of course that came from the head of Kai Havertz, the other that was the own goal scored by Højbjerg. Arsenal have multiple players in the box at the moment. Cario just trying to command his 6-yard box. Players moving in and it's gone towards the near post from right. Headed away. Only as far as the edge of the area where it's fallen again to Trossard, who is challenging to keep possession, but instead Tottenham come away with it on the right hand side as Kulusevski's run down that right hand side is intercepted and Rice gets to it again, gives it to Tomiyasu, chases down the left hand side up against Pedro Porro. His clearance has been weak and it's fallen to Odegaard on the edge of the area. Odegaard again to Tomiyasu down that left hand side. As he brings that inside, it's been blocked out by Romero. It's now going to be a free kick to Tottenham for offside from Tomiyasu. As Kulusevski passes it inside to Porro, but the pass is too heavy that it bounces off of the right boot of the Tottenham fullback and it goes back to Arsenal possession as Gabriel plays it across to Saliba now. Saliba back to Gabriel again. Now to Rice on the left hand side, gives it to Tomiyasu. Challenge comes in though from Romero, concedes a throw in around the halfway line as Tomiyasu's slow to get back to his feet. Quite a tough challenge from Romero, but he did win the ball. But the Arsenal fullback is back to his feet and he's just been told by Michael Oliver to hurry up and take the throw in. Tomiyasu goes across to take it, about 5 yards further on than the dugouts on the left hand side. Got Rice just in front of him. Odegaard in there as well. And Partey. Throw in is taken. Baids everybody. It has been cleared though by Pedro Porro. Headed away by Højbjerg. Back into that area by Partey, but intercepted by Sarr. Sarr onto the left-hand side now finds Brennan Johnson, who's up against Ben White at the moment. Johnson beats him down that left-hand side. Still with possession, taking it to the edge of the area. Manages to dribble it past Ben White, but Saka's there for support. Johnson's crossing has been blocked, and it's going to be a Tottenham corner out on the left-hand side now. As he makes his way into the area, it's great work from Brennan Johnson, as Maddison's going to have the in-swinging corner to take. Son and Romero and Pape Sarr will make their way into the area. Cross goes into the middle, headed away by Gabriel as far as the edge of the area with Kulusevski. He's passed back and he gets the ball back on this right hand side, looks for the ball down the line there for Son. Continues his run, does Kulusevski, but Son's forced to go back towards the halfway line with Porro. Played across now to Højbjerg. Højbjerg now onto the left-hand side. James Maddison gets the ball by the touchline. He's got Saka alongside him. Maddison plays the ball to Davis. Now back to Maddison again. Now to Højbjerg. Højbjerg and Sarr with a quick 1-2 as Højbjerg dribbles it inside. Plays it into the area, but Saliba's there equal to it again. And as this clearance is made, it's gone as far as Sarr. Kulusevski gets it back. Then to Pedro Porro. He's got Heung-min Son as an option, but he's caught the ball in the shot of the outside of his foot, and it's gone wide, not even hit the side netting, and it's going to be another Arsenal goal kick. Two changes by Postecoglou so far in this game. Forced early on with Timo Werner going off injured. Joined Tottenham earlier this year on loan till the end of the season. Tottenham hoping to make that potential permanent signing in the summer transfer window, as Saka finds Trossard on the left hand side. Trossard puts it onto his right foot and his effort's been blocked. Back with Tomiyasu now though. Goes central to Thomas Partey. Now to Rice. Back across to Tomiyasu on the left hand side. Brings this in onto his right foot, gives it to Rice on the edge of the area, looks for Odegaard. Odegaard brings it into the area, it's now with Havertz. Makes his way past multiple Tottenham players into the area, and now a free kick's been given as Havertz is shoved to the floor inside the penalty area. Free kick's been given to Tottenham. Played short by Romero. Now to Højbjerg. Passed down the lines, intercepted by Saka. He finds Odegaard, still on that right-hand side for Arsenal. Odegaard's cross goes into the box towards Havertz at the back post, and he's let it run across his body, and it's taken too much of a bounce, and it's gone out of play for a goal kick. The wet surface just allowed the ball to skid out of play. From around about 8 yards out, Havertz should probably have either got his head to it or taken a touch to bring the ball down, but he let it run across his body. He's let it roll out of play for a goal kick. Now to Van de Ven. To Davis. His pass inside's been dispossessed again, and Partey gets it back for Arsenal. Now to Saka. Arsenal seem to have found their stride now. Probably not the better of the two sides in the first half, but the second half they very much had the lion's share of possession and the better chances, as now it's with Partey. Beats his man going inside, takes it towards halfway, but then he's brought down to the floor. Rice takes the free kick quickly. Now to Saka on the right hand side. He's got an overlapping run from White, gives it to Odegaard on the edge of the area. Quick step overs from Odegaard, gives it to Ben White. Inside to Saka, intercepted by Sarr. Kulusevski dribbles it now onto the right hand side past Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu makes up the speed and gets back ahead of the Tottenham winger, who's then forced to go back to Porro. Quick 1-2 between him and Kulusevski. He's then intercepted. Kulusevski's quick to it again, but then Rice is in the way. Rice gets it back for Arsenal. He's got space to move into. Gives it to Trossard on the right hand side. Trossard then finds Havertz on the edge of the area. Pass then to Tomiyasu. Back to Havertz again by the touchline. And then Tomiyasu. And back to Havertz. And to the right foot of Tomiyasu. Now into the centre circle of Saliba. Cross to Ben White. White then finds Saka down the right hand side. Got Davis alongside him as Saka quickly gets his foot to the ball and gives it away to Tottenham. Son now onto the right hand side for Kulusevski. He's got to be alert because Tomiyasu was there. He's passed then back to Sarr, who's almost intercepted by Odegaard. It's now with Porro. And then Romero. Now to Davis. In the middle of the park. To Maddison. Maddison's ball out onto the right hand side to be chased down by Son, but Tomiyasu's quick to it. It's headed away to Rice. Rice at the centre circle, just holding on to possession alongside Thomas Partey. Partey then distributes it out onto the right hand side for White. Now to Saka. Saka goes back again, this time to Saliba inside their own half. And Saliba across to Gabriel. And Tomiyasu. Closed down by Kulusevski, forced to go back to Gabriel again. Then back to his goalkeeper, and just outside the area Gabriel will get the ball back. Into space in the middle of the park now is Odegaard. Odegaard finds Saka on the right hand side. He's got space to move into as well. He has got Davis alongside him as he makes his way into the area, puts it onto his left foot. Still options available, maybe too much of a heavy touch from Saka, and he's forced to go back around again onto the right hand side and give the ball to Odegaard. Odegaard then to White. White back to Odegaard. Then inside to Saka. Flag stays down as Saka takes it into the area. The flag indicates that it's now going to be a corner to Arsenal. There's no offside in the build-up there for Arsenal. Now they get a corner on the right-hand side that Saka goes across to take. Already with 1 goal to his name. As we now have 2 changes planned for Tottenham. Richarlison is going to be one of those. The other one is going to be Yves Bissouma. And Arsenal have a substitution waiting themselves, but it'll wait till this corner's been taken. It's an in-swinging corner from Saka. Gabriel's in the box with Saliba. Ben White's on the line with the goalkeeper as we've had to call a stop to things as a Tottenham player down. James Maddison holding on to his face as if he's been elbowed or caught on the lip. And he feels he was caught when Tomiyasu was making the run. He's gone down to the floor. He feels like it was the shoulder of Tomiyasu. No booking given on this occasion, and a corner will be taken again from Saka with options in the box. Michael Oliver with a clear eye on the difference there between Maddison and Tomiyasu. Goes in towards the back post. It's evaded everybody, and it's going to take a curve and go out of play for a goal kick for Tottenham. So heavy of a cross from Bukayo Saka. And with the 62-minute mark, we'll now see the first change for, I think it's going to be Arsenal that make that first change. It's going to be Gabriel Martinelli on, Leandro Trossard off. And that's the first change being made by Mikel Arteta. And the changes that are going to be made from Tottenham is going to see Bissouma join the game. And Richarlison, who's been out since the beginning of the month with an injury. Good to see him back in among the fold for Tottenham. So who's going to be making way? Højbjerg is going to be one of those that is making way. So Højbjerg off for Yves Bissouma. I think the other change has seen James Maddison leave the game, and James Maddison has been one of the livelier players for Tottenham, so I'll be surprised if the decision is that, James Maddison is going to go off. So James Maddison is off as well. Not quite sure the thought process there, and hopefully it's not injury related. I think Maddison has very much been one of the bright sparks. This is a chance here for Tottenham as it's gone all the way through to David Raya, and his chipped clearance is very, very poor, and it's gone straight into the path of Romero, who's put it past him, and it's now Tottenham 1, Arsenal 3. Tottenham have a lifeline, and it's an Arsenal fault. The ball went all the way back to David Raya, who was being closed down, in fact. It was played back by Saliba, goes back to Raya inside the area. He's still got Gabriel to his left, but instead tries to chip ball over Richarlison. It's gone straight into the path of Romero, who's followed his man, and Romero's only really got the keeper to beat. Arsenal centre halves have split either sides as options for Raya, and he knows the error is made immediately. And it leaves the Tottenham centre half 1-on-1 with the keeper, and Arsenal's 6 away games consecutively without conceding a goal has been brought to an end at the fault of the goalkeeper, who immediately put his hands up. But it's now Tottenham 1, Arsenal 3, and a chance now for Tottenham to break with Son. Richarlison gets the ball from him and goes down under the challenge of Odegaard. Odegaard passes it out to Saka, who then finds Havertz on the right hand side. He's got Van de Ven alongside him. Havertz passes it in the middle for Saka. Saka crosses this onto the left hand side for Martinelli. Intercepted though, only as far as Tomiyasu, who wins it back for Arsenal. Now to Odegaard again, onto the edge of the area. His pass finds White. Cross goes in, it's been blocked, and it's bounced out of play, and it's going to be a goal kick. I'm not quite sure if that ricocheted back off Kai Havertz. The linesman seems to say it has. Johan Ramsdale at the moment, you've got to be questioning what you've got to do to get into this Arsenal side. Of course, Raya playing out from the back and struggling to do so, as it's now with Johnson on the right hand side. Johnson dribbles it into the area, beats Tomiyasu, brings it back to Richarlison. There again is Gabriel to get his clearance on it, and is eventually cleared fully by Declan Rice. The urgency from the Tottenham fans calling on the home players now, certainly hoping for a comeback of an incredible proportion. Cross goes in from Porro towards Richarlison, headed away again by Gabriel. Flicked on further, this time in the direction of Martinelli, who beats his man. He's going to be closed down though by Van de Ven, who gets in the way of the player in the ball, goes down under the challenge and wins a free kick just inside his own half. Having been on in the space of 2 minutes, you'd expect Martinelli to have the pace to be able to get further down the line at that point. Free kick's taken to Johnson. Skips inside multiple Arsenal players, threads the ball through to Richarlison, but Raya's out to it and holds on to the ball to his chest as he slides out at the feet of the Tottenham striker. He's back to his feet now, slowing things down. 66 minutes gone at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Spurs trail by 3-1. Clearance this time from Raya, looks for Saka, beaten to it by Davis. And he goes as far as Saliba, who goes across to White. Back to Saliba again. Under pressure, Saliba pass inside to Partey. Partey gives it to Odegaard, who makes his way into Tottenham's half. He's got Havertz as an option. Gives it to Saka on the right hand side as Havertz makes his way into the box. He's also got Rice and Martinelli in the box as well. Saka puts it onto his left foot as he takes it into the area. Still on his left foot. Has a go goalwards. It's been blocked. It's only fallen as far as Odegaard on the edge of the area, but the tackle by Pape Sarr puts it out of play for a throw-in for Arsenal on the right hand side. Arsenal just happy to take the time with the ball. Saka leaves it now for Ben White, who comes across to take the throw-in. Throws it into the area, headed away this time by Sarr, but a free kick, or throw-in in fact, has been given for a foul throw. You don't see that many times in the Premier League, but throw-in's been given to Tottenham this time. Going back to Sarr. Arsenal still putting the pressure on Tottenham at the moment. Inside the area, goes towards Havertz, but the clearance has been made by Romero, and it's out of play for another Arsenal throw-in on the right hand side. Odegaard battling to get into the area and pulls it back for Havertz, but as Romero's cleared the ball, it's quite a forceful one onto Havertz, who's then struggled to get back to his feet, but has done so. Romero had to get the ball, because if he hadn't, he'd really caught quite a bit of Havertz, and that would have given a decision for Michael Oliver, as if he chooses to give a penalty. Throwing taken into the area by White. It's bounced all the way into the hands of Vicario, who's looking for a quick outlet. Doesn't have one, but instead rolls it out now to Van de Ven just outside the area. Pass to Sarr. Back again to Van de Ven. Now across to Romero. Now Bissouma, just outside the area. Bissouma now to Kulusevski. Got space to move into as he makes his way into Arsenal's half. Pass out onto the right hand side for Johnson. Challenge made by Tomiyasu. Second attempt to get rid of the ball. It's with Martinelli on this left hand side now. Challenge made by Bissouma, and it's out of play for an Arsenal throw-in around the halfway line. And now it's time. Forest and City will get underway. And Arsenal, of course, will be cheering on the red team in that game as well. Inside their own half as we reach the 70th minute. Arsenal have a free kick. Goes back to Gabriel. Now back to Thomas Partey. Across to Ben White on the right hand side. White goes to Partey again. Now to Saliba. And goes the challenge of Van de Ven. Wins it back and just keeps it inside from going out of play for a throw-in. And it's played to Bissouma again in the middle of the park. He gives the ball through to Kulusevski, who's passed towards Richarlison. They're hoping for a corner. I think it's going to be brought back. He's going to be brought back for a free kick or given as a goal kick to Arsenal. As Kulusevski is helped back to his feet. It was a late challenge made by Partey. It's a heavy pass that has been made. Now he's going to go back into his own area. It's going to be a goal kick that has been given. Just caught the studs on the top of the foot of Kulusevski. Raya takes the goal kick. Then up towards Kai Havertz. Ball evades him. Headed away by Van de Ven again. Towards Odegaard. Brought down by Havertz, who's then gone down inside Tottenham's half. His pass goes to Gabriel. Onto the right hand side for White. Now to Odegaard. Now to Rice. Then Odegaard again. Now by the touchline it's White. Back to Odegaard. Inside his own half. Forced to go all the way back to his goalkeeper. And Arsenal will regroup and go again as Raya is quite far out of his area. No nonsense this time as it's passed out to Tomiyasu on the left hand side. Tomiyasu's through ball. No Arsenal players going through with it. It's gone all the way through to Vicario, who rushes out of his goal to pass the ball out to Van de Ven. Down to the right hand side for Romero. Romero's pass inside this time goes to Richarlison. Takes it to the edge of the area on the right hand side. His cross has taken a deflection, goes in, but caught and held by Raya, who goes down to ground with it. Into the final 20 minutes of this game. Now vital over 3 points there'll be for Arsenal. It does make things difficult for Tottenham. They'll then sit 7 points behind Aston Villa with 2 games in hand. This of course is one of the games in hand. They do still have Chelsea, and then they have Man City as their 2 games in hand. Not easy points on the board for them either. And then up towards halfway line. Passes it onto the left hand side this time for Johnson. Now to Son. Son by the touchline with Saka and White alongside him. Goes back to Sarr, now to Bissouma. Bissouma's got Havertz and Odegaard around him. It's back again this time to Sarr. Sarr's cross goes towards the back post with Brennan Johnson, who brings the ball down. Johnson on the edge of the area. Up against Martinelli, who's back helping out. Martinelli wins the ball back, and his clearance has taken a block off a Tottenham player inside the area. It was a poor clearance again from Martinelli, but Arsenal have got a chance now on the left hand side, as this time Van de Ven's quickly getting there ahead of Declan Rice, but it's poor from Arsenal from a clearance perspective. Martinelli did well to get back defensively and help out, but as soon as you've got the ball, you can't play it across the face of your own goal, especially in the area with Tottenham players in numbers inside the area waiting for those chances. Bissouma gets it inside the halfway line. Inside his own half, pass on to the right hand side for Kulusevski. Now for Porro. Tries to beat his man. Cross manages to go in, but it's taken a bounce and landed into the arms of Raya, who's just taking his time with things. Doesn't want to allow Tottenham's momentum to create anything. Quick ball onto the left hand side now though. In space is Martinelli as Tottenham are now getting back. There's Arsenal players in the box. Making a run is Havertz. Martinelli lays it off to Havertz, but quickly back is Sarr, who gets in the way of Bissouma's clearance. And it nearly falls back to Martinelli again, but Sarr once again gets in the way of it. And now it's with Kulusevski on the right hand side. Looks for Son. Headed away this time. As far as Partey, who's brought down by Richarlison, and a free kick's been given, claiming that Richarlison moved from an offside position. He's furious because he feels if Thomas Partey's got the ball, he can't be offside. But they're saying it didn't come off Partey last. Saying it came off of Romero last, in which case it is offside. Because Richarlison was quite far into an offside position when he made the run back. It's a free kick to Arsenal, and David Raya will come to around the halfway line. In fact, just outside of the centre circle in his own side's half to take the free kick. Goes up towards Havertz, who can bring this down nicely, surrounded by multiple Tottenham players. Gives it to Rice, out onto the right hand side now for Saka. Saka passes this to Gabriel. Now to Partey, back to Saka on the right hand side. Saka onto his left foot, back to Partey on the edge of the area. Partey gives this to Gabriel. Gabriel chips it over to Martinelli. First touch almost brings it past the player, and instead the challenge goes in this time from Romero, who eventually does clear his lines. And it's gone as far as Richarlison, who's gone down under the challenge of Saliba, and it's going to be a free kick to Tottenham as Declan Rice and Richarlison have a bit of an argument. The free kick is going to be brought back again for Tottenham, and Richarlison's wanting a yellow card to be given. The referee's just telling him to calm down himself. And Declan Rice then talking to Richarlison, now to Michael Oliver. No yellow card is going to be given. North London derby without a yellow card after 75 minutes. I think I'd see this happen within my lifetime as Johnson tries to dribble the ball past Tomiyasu, goes down under the challenge and wins a free kick. Just inside Arsenal's half on the right hand side. And they have decided now to swap over Brennan Johnson and Kulusevski as Porro stood over the ball by the touchline on the right hand side. Tottenham making their way into Arsenal's area. Everyone back for the visitors with a set piece to defend. Richarlison's in there, Son's in there, Romero and Van de Ven as well. Making a run at the back post is Ben Davies. Pape Sarr's the player that's staying back at the moment. Cross goes in. Raise everybody, gets to the back post, but it has been cleared by Ben White, and it's going to be a throw in now. Around about halfway between the halfway line and the goalkeeper's area on the left hand side for Tottenham. And across to take it is Ben Davies. Davies throws the ball back to Sarr. Goes back to Van de Ven. Cross now to Porro inside the opposition half. Porro's pass down to Johnson by the touchline. Brennan Johnson brings this in and then goes down under the challenge. Wants a free kick, nothing's been given. And Arsenal have a chance to break now on the left hand side, and it's Martinelli making the run. He's been pushed to the floor there by Kulusevski, and this is the first yellow card. The old commentator's curse, but Kulusevski has to push him to the floor, as it was a good run being made down that left hand side by Martinelli. He was finding himself in plenty of space, just taking it in his stride. It's a nice build up by Arsenal, just checking if Brennan Johnson should have had a free kick on the other side. I think he should have. He's knocked the ball a bit too far away from Martinelli, then gone down under the challenge, and Martinelli just stuck his foot out to knock the ball away, and Brennan Johnson, as much as he may have rested his foot there to help get the free kick, did go down on the edge of the area. Free kick taken by Rice to Havertz, now to Rice, looks for Martinelli, but it's been blocked out by Romero, who gives the ball to Kulusevski. Back to Van de Ven. Across to Sarr, who slips. Still gets the ball first though, and goes back now to Bissouma. Takes it to the halfway line. Arsenal players just backing off at the moment as Bissouma takes it outside of the centre circle and goes out onto the right hand side for Romero. Back to Bissouma again. Goes down by Havertz, but his pass onto the right hand side does find Porro again. Brennan Johnson's alongside him, gives the ball to Johnson. Tries to beat Martinelli yet again. Cross goes in, takes it to Jeff Martinelli. Goes in towards the back post where Son was making a leaping effort, but David Raya watches the ball into his hands and keeps hold of the ball this time around. And just wastes a bit more time as we enter into the final 10 minutes. Tottenham's momentum has certainly fallen by the wayside. One ball up from Raya, goes towards Havertz, headed by Romero. It's Ben Davies on the left hand side. His touch is too heavy. Havertz nearly gets there again, but Davies brings it inside and gets the ball to Porro. Porro can move out of his area with it, moving on to the right hand side. Eventually plays the long ball down the right hand side. It's going to be chased by Brennan Johnson, who's up against Tomiyasu. Brings it back into the left hand side, into the area. Ball in towards the middle, caught by David Raya, who again catches the ball and then goes down to the floor. And will waste as much time as he possibly can before getting rid of the ball and getting things back underway for Arsenal again. Pass made from Raya onto the right hand side. And White finds Saka. Saka's gone down under the challenge and wins a free kick just inside his own half. First touches excellent from the left, just takes it away from Ben Davies, who then trips the Arsenal winger. And Saka will have won his side a free kick. He's up against Ben White at the moment. He will take the free kick as Saka makes his way down the wing. The free kick is now going to be taken by Saliba. It's going to have to be quick though, because Michael Oliver's told Arsenal they need to hurry up with this. Saliba's ball down the line goes towards Havertz. Headed away this time by Sarr. Run back by Saka. And cleared by Van de Ven. Then towards Richarlison, who's gone down too easy, says the referee. And Saliba gets the ball. Now to Saka. Still on the right hand side. Saka beats Davis. Goes down under the challenge. And we might see a yellow card for Ben Davis now. Yeah, we are. It's the second yellow card of the afternoon. And it's the second consecutive foul from a challenge that Ben Davis has put in on Bukayo Saka, and Saka holding on to his knee this time. Very slow to get back to his feet. Davis on 2 yellow cards goes into the area, ready to help defend this set piece. Multiple Arsenal players stood over the ball at the moment. Partey, Havertz making their way into the area as Rice and Saka both stood over the free kick. Saka makes his way away from the free kick now. It's set to be Declan Rice to take it. Richarlison back helping out as well as Tomiyasu's in there. Cross goes in towards the middle. Vicario punches at it as far as the edge of the area. Richarlison's quick to get there, but Odegaard's ball across the face of goal nearly falls to Saka on the right hand side. It's helped there though by Gabriel, and it's back with Saka just on the edge of the area. Saka's pass then is made back to Ben White, now to Declan Rice. And then Havertz. And back to White again. And it's passed to Odegaard. Tackle goes in from Ben White, and now a free kick is given again to Arsenal. About 5 yards more inwards than it were before. About the same sort of level. So with just the one change so far, maybe an opportunity to bring 2 more into the game. Right to Jesus, Jorginho, Kivior and Smith Rowe still available on the bench, and Chenko as well if needed. Declan Rice has stood over this free kick from outside the area. Signals that he's going to put a cross into the box. Goes in towards the middle. It's been headed away before it gets to Havertz. Fallen as far as Martinelli, whose volley has been blocked, and that's fallen to Son. Son twists and turns on the ball and goes down under a challenge. Nothing's been given. And then the referee eventually gives it because Pape Sarr felt that maybe it was a free kick and put his hand on the ball. So the referee's changed his mind and given a free kick in favour of Tottenham. It's now with Sarr. Back to Romero. Across to Bissouma. Bissouma brings it inside onto his right foot. Across to Pedro Porro now. It's passed to Brennan Johnson. Back to Bissouma again. Build-up football, fluid football as Sarr gets there, and then there's a bit of a shove from Declan Rice inside the area on Brennan Johnson that Tottenham were calling for a penalty for, and then Declan Rice will eventually give the ball back to his centre half, and Gabriel will have to clear his lines. Tottenham may have a query there as well. It looks like it was a deliberate movement from Declan Rice into the player to bring him down to the floor. I think I've seen penalties given for those in the past, but you've also seen them waved away as Brennan Johnson gets the ball and brings it inside. Plays it now back to Bissouma. Bissouma switches this onto the left hand side, brought down on the edge of the area with Ben Davis. Now to Sarr. Still on the edge of the area. Sarr's cross goes in towards the middle. Sent goalwards by Romero. It has been cleared as far as the edge of the area. And then down in the box goes the Tottenham player. It's waved away by Michael Oliver, and it's gone all the way through to Vicario. Holding on to his shin at the moment is the Tottenham player who's struggling back to his feet. Cross goes in this time towards the back post, and Raya gratefully clutches the ball to his chest and goes down to the floor to waste a bit more time, but as it stands there's still a Tottenham player down inside the area. I think he's taken a bit of a hit to the back of his knee. I know the ball has caught the knee of Ben Davis, and then he's been kicked by Rice. It is inside the area, and we are just going to have a moment where VAR are checking if this is a penalty. And it is a kick from Declan Rice. And I think Michael Oliver has been told to go and have a look at the screen. So VAR, while play was continuing, have been checking for the potential of a foul inside the area. Michael Oliver waved it away, but as Ben Davis got there, he does need the ball out of the way, and then Declan Rice with the top of his boot does catch the inside of the thigh there of Ben Davis, and we'll just wait to see what the decision is going to be from Michael Oliver, who originally weighed this away, and with the assistance of Jared Gile might have the opportunity to bring it within 1 goal for Tottenham. Can't imagine he's been called over to the screen if this isn't going to be a penalty. He's had a chance to have another look at it, and the decision is going to be a penalty to Tottenham. So, a chance for Tottenham to come back again within 1 goal of Arsenal. This time from the spot. Top goal scorer, captain Heung-min Son, 15 goals in the Premier League this season for Tottenham, has a chance in the North London derby. With the weight of the Tottenham Hotspur crowd on his shoulders, having not missed any of his last 5 penalties, goes up against David Raya, goalkeeper on loan from Brentford, having kept 6 clean sheets in consecutive away games up to today, in the 86th minute of the second London derby of the season. It's Heung-min Son against David Raya from the spot to put it within 1 goal and take us to a very nervy ending at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Heung-min Son steps up, puts it into the corner. It's Tottenham 2, Arsenal 3. To the roar of the crowd at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Tottenham are now back within a goal, despite going 3-0 down to Arsenal at half-time. An Arsenal side that have won all 15 league matches where they have been leading at half-time. That record's in threat. The chance of going 4 points clear of Manchester City is in threat. The chance to finish today atop of the Premier League table is under threat from Tottenham Hotspur. It's 87 minutes gone. It's Tottenham 2, Arsenal 3. And Mikel Arteta with a rallying cry to his players that are out on the field at the moment. The kick-off is taken straight back to Raya. And a free kick's immediately given to Arsenal inside their own half. As Richarlison's brought Gabriel to the floor, and Gabriel's back up to his feet, and there's been some words between him and Richarlison as Michael Oliver steps in the way. Gives a free kick to Arsenal, but stops any sort of arguing going on between the two. As Gabriel and Richarlison pushed Gabriel to the floor with a shoulder into his face, and then goes down holding his own face, and as soon as Gabriel is back up, the two square up once again. Richarlison very much adding the North London derby feel to the game that's only seen 2 yellow cards. Both of those have come within the last 10 minutes. Saliba will take the free kick inside the centre circle inside his own half, but first we will see a change for Arsenal. And it'll be captain Martin Odegaard who gives the armband over to Bukayo Saka, and then Odegaard will depart the game. He's going to be replaced by Jakub Kiwior, potentially moving Ben White in at centre half and going to 5 defenders for Arsenal. Kiwior playing full-back, of course, for the majority of this season. And the other change that's been made for Tottenham is an attacking one, with Ben Davies, who's already been booked today, coming off, and he's going to be replaced by Giovanni Lo Celso. All changes made by Spurs, one still available should it be needed by Arsenal. Saka gets the ball on the right hand side, finds White, then gives the ball to Havertz. Havertz looks for Saka on the edge of the area. His cross has been blocked and it's out of play for a corner to Arsenal off of Bissouma. 5th corner of the game for Arsenal. Arteta's just instructing his players. Is it going to be a case of get players into the box, get the goal? You've already got the goal difference over the sides around you. Is it worth risking it at this point with less than a minute to go of regular time? Saka to take an in-swinging corner. There are plenty of Arsenal players in the box. They're still pushing for another goal. Goes in towards the middle, puts it onto the goalkeeper. It's headed off the line at the back post though, and it's going to be a corner on the opposite side as Van de Ven heads this clear off the line. 6th corner for Arsenal. Saka's cross looks like it was going in. It was headed in at the near post towards the back. Van de Ven had to head that away before it dropped in. So it's going to be Declan Rice to take this corner. It's going to be another in-swinging corner, but this time from the left-hand side. As Arsenal will again have multiple players inside the box. The ball isn't actually in the circle that's surrounding the corner post. 6 minutes of added time indicated. Rice corner comes in towards the near post. Vicario punches away at it, then catches it on the second one and goes out of play with it. And he thinks that it's a goal kick. It is a goal kick. Plays it out short now onto the right hand side to Brennan Johnson. Ball down the line's been cleared this time by Gabriel. Inside Arsenal's half, it's going to be a throw in. Johnson was going to take it, but instead throws this ball off to Pedro Porro. Gives it to Bissouma. Bissouma across now to Sarr. We are into the 6 minutes of added time at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Sarr onto the left hand side now for Son. Gets the ball back from him again. Sarr across to Bissouma. Bissouma across to Porro. And back to Bissouma. Arsenal very much all with 11 players behind the ball at the moment. Tottenham have the ball inside Arsenal's half, and everybody from Arsenal's practically inside their area at the moment as White plays this across to Sarr. Now to Kulusevski. To Bissouma. Bissouma now to Porro. Porro's cross goes in towards Richarlison. Out comes Raya to claim it. Safe hands from the Arsenal goalkeeper, who keeps the ball in his hands and goes down to ground with it. Into his back slightly in his hip area. Still one change available for Arsenal if it is something that's serious for Raya. Romero now seems to have moved into a bit more of an attacking position for Tottenham. Ball upfield from Raya. Havertz gets there ahead of Sarr and goes down under the challenge and wins his side a free kick outside the area. And Arsenal with the ball back inside Tottenham's half. Havertz slow to get back to his feet. Maybe another time wasting strategy for Arsenal. Romero inside the area at the moment, just helping out defend into the final 4 minutes, and Mikel Arteta's considering if there's another change that he should or may need to bring on to see this game through. He's got Havertz, Saka and Rice all stood over the ball at the moment. Saka plays the ball to Havertz, who takes it in towards the corner. In goes the challenge from Van de Ven, and wins his side a throw-in. Son goes across to take it from nearly the corner flag. Thinks better of it as Bissouma comes across to take it now. Son's the attacking player from Tottenham that he really need in the other side of the field at the moment. Go down the line from Bissouma. Laid off this time to Richarlison. Richarlison gets it back on the left hand side. Beats Rice. Up against Saliba at the moment. Beats Saliba and goes down and wins a free kick this time. And Saliba quickly making his way into the area as Tottenham in a very dangerous position have a free kick of their own. It is end-to-end stuff between these two sides. It is far from over. Arsenal get a chance at one side. Tottenham take the ball at the other end. Have a free kick in a very dangerous position at the moment. Stood over the ball is Lo Celso and Porro. Plenty of options in the middle. Van de Ven makes his way forward. Richarlison's in there. Kulusevski, Sarr, Son. Everyone back for Arsenal. Only one player outside of the area at the moment, and that is Saka, who is in the wall. Cross comes in from Porro towards the middle, headed away at the back post, and it's out of play for a corner. Tottenham wants a penalty. It's not been given. It's going to be a corner now on the right-hand side. Quick to come across to take it is Lo Celso. Now, in-swinging corner to be taken. As Tottenham pile players in and around the 6-yard box. Richarlison is one of those. Romero, another one of those. Arsenal again with everybody back. In towards the middle, another Tottenham player goes down. Nothing given from the referee on this occasion. And then Son tries what I feel was an overhead kick, but it's not been given. And as the clearance is made, it's gone all the way through to Vicario, who's had to put the ball onto the right-hand side as Martinelli was chasing him down. Lo Celso plays it central for Bissouma, takes it back into Arsenal's half. Tottenham continue in the ascendancy to Sarr, to Son on the left-hand side. He's got White up against him. He's got Saka closing in as well as Son plays it back central for Sarr. Across to Van de Ven. Outside the area at the moment, around about 10 yards, but Tottenham camped inside Arsenal's half. Arsenal with no players forward to try and keep the ball in Tottenham's half or even risk it, as it's played across now to Kulusevski. Up against Rice. Back across to Sarr. Now onto the left-hand side for Son, just outside the area. There are options in the box if we can get the ball in. Plays it across the face of goal. It's been cleared at the near post. Nothing's been given as far as Sarr, who's up against Rice. Both go down under pressure. Nothing's been given as Saka then sends the ball for Havertz. Havertz is going to chase down, but well defended by Van de Ven, who gets there quickly and plays it back to his goalkeeper. Ball back out to Sarr now, who makes his way into Arsenal's half down the right-hand side with Kulusevski. Into the final minute now of the added time that's been given as Sarr gets the ball inside Arsenal's half. Plays it back central now for Lo Celso. Takes it deep into Arsenal's half. He's got space to move into and gives it Kulusevski on the edge of the area. Back to Lo Celso inside the area. Just gets there before Arsenal can intercept. Back to Kulusevski again on the edge. Now to Lo Celso. Options in the middle. Plays the ball in towards the back post to Richarlison, who can't get there. It's been headed away first, and it's going to be a corner on the back post now for Tottenham. Out on the left-hand side. Left-hand side, it's going to be another corner to Tottenham. Vicario now makes his way into the area. It's the last gaff chance for Spurs. Vicario straight onto David Raya. In-swinging corner from Pedro Porro. Goes in towards the near post. It's been headed away. It's a weak corner to the edge of the area. Lo Celso sends it goalwards again. It's been cleared as far as Kulusevski on the edge of the area. Takes it into the area. He's up against Martinelli. Martinelli clears his lines. Going for Tottenham on the right-hand side. About equal with the goalkeeper's area. Arsenal begging for this full-time whistle as Son gets the ball. Cross comes in from Son. It's gone all the way through towards the back post, and it's nearly gone in. And it's out of play for a goal kick for Arsenal. And that is the full-time whistle at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I think Son might have seen David Raya off his line as he put the ball in towards the back post. Arsenal was dominant in the final third in the first half as Tottenham were trying to get themselves back into the game. Despite the dominance of performance from them, from possession from them, should I say, in the first half, didn't quite capitalise on what they could have done. The second half they came out all guns blazing and brought it back to 3-2, but ultimately it is the visitors that take the 3 points. It is the first time since 1988 that Arsenal have won consecutive league games away at Tottenham, and it takes them to 4 points clear at the top of the Premier League table. It has finished at